You know, I was like, wow. And then they got him with another black penguin who was like, yo, my bad, man. Well, I didn't mean to take your son along, man. You know, it was like at this point, why don't y'all just have a bunch of penguins from the other side of the Antarctica come by and do a drive-by on all these motherfuckers.
But it is Antarctica. I mean, they're probably just now getting VCR.
They're just not watching old episodes of Martin.
Exactly.
That is true. Wow, that's cool.
They're not exactly up
I think
to
the
date.
UPN dumped all their tapes over there.
So you're saying
We
these
gotta get
penguins
rid
are
of this
just caught
shit.
up on being hit now?
Yeah, no. They're like those aliens who get the signals of I Love Lucy way decades later. Yeah.
Okay, no wonder that fucking penguin had a high top fade.
Exactly.
and they wearing Cosby sweaters, you know.
And they are black and white, so they're either disposed to be either being Oreos or Wiggers.
That is true. That is true. No wonder I saw that penguin with that African
Well, yeah,
medallion on.
maybe that should have been the main plot to figure this all out. But because,
I heard Will Smith is big with these penguins over there. Hey, it's the Fresh Prince.
He's giving out acting classes.
Don't you get it? It doesn't matter how they sound. They're all just penguins on the outside. It's okay.
You know, this is something that I've seen. George Miller, right?
Yeah. The Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I feel like I keep getting hit by a brick every time somebody says. I was like, "What? Really?"
But you know, we're talking about the same George Miller that did Babe.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that there's only been one case where I've seen them actually do like a sequel that was amazing, and that of course is the Road Warrior sequel to Mad Max. Now it's debatable how people feel about that third Mad Max movie.
Well, generally very well
People
received.
generally
Yeah.
like it. I mean,
It was.
they acknowledge it's not as good as the first
Yeah,
one.
it's weaker, but
And there's a lot of people, I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of people who like the second Babe more than the first one.
that amazes me because this right here makes me think about the same. Like, okay, Babe and Babe Pig in the City makes me think about Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2. Babe just seemed so sweet,
Yeah.
so sincere,
Genuine.
and
Yeah,
very
sincere.
genuine. And then they got to Babe in the City, and it was all these people who were dressed like Mad Max characters. They were in leather and weird characters with weird cars, and the city was all kind of everywhere. And it was like this just doesn't seem to.
I remember seeing the last part of Babe, Pig in the City, and all I thought, I was shocked when I found out who directed it because I was like, wow, this is like what you're ripping yourself off. You're like cannibalizing your own material here, and it sucks because of that first movie. You'd figure a director would like love that first movie so much and not want to do another one because
Right.
you don't want to taint that water. And with this one, I guess he did that again because from what I saw from Babe 2, the last part that I saw where it's so crazy, that's what it felt like watching this
Yeah.
movie.
Well,
It
that's
was
what-
so
that's what-
insane. I couldn't put it together.
Well, he's been trying to get the fourth Mad Max off the ground for a long time now, and I know one of the big problems has been just money, quite plain and simple. And maybe we just saw it get paid for.
Yeah, that is true because what I saw here is like I would say that Babe Pig in the City is nowhere near as bad as what I've seen here in Happy Feet 2, just because Happy Feet 2 it really does seem like a studio decision. I like you say maybe a paycheck for George Miller to get what he wants done. I'll say this finally, the music in this is the biggest letdown for me because it just came out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know. It had no real reason to be in there other than, hey, the kids would like this, or it would fit what's going on with where these characters are at the moment.
Or even just referencing. Like, we got nothing here, so let's just reference a song real quick and not even sing it.
Yeah.
We'll just reference it.
I thought there was one number in there that was so batshit fucking crazy.
Which
it seemed
one?
like the opera number
With the little
that the
penguin
little
talking about his
penguin was doing.
father. My
Yes,
father!
my father. Yeah, where I was like, okay, is this from an opera? Is this from any song? But then the movie, he was referencing his dad and what was going on. He's like, "You call him a coward, leave him alone." And I'm just like, what? Is this? Did they manage to find the most shitty song in the world and then put it in the movie? I don't understand. Who fucking did this song? That's what I was wondering throughout that whole scene. I was like, wow. Okay, stop this.
The movie stopped for that
It
scene.
did. It really did.
It was like Evita or something.
I was shocked that the whole theater didn't burst out laughing and just go, "What the fuck? What the fuck did just happen to us?"
Because that was supposed to be the big plot element. Spoiler there, by the way. That
Is it?
Yeah, of course
Oh,
it is.
like
Because
Greg
that's the
the Elephant
idea: is
Seal.
that he can't sing normally, he can't dance normally. The new kid, so what can he do? And his skill is that he's, I guess, in the context of the film, has a gift for opera. So it's like, oh well, there you go. He likes opera.
okay.
Yet they drop it right after they.
know, yeah, I know.
It's really
That's-
awkward
I'm like,
and
yeah.
and you're like, okay,
You're telling me that's a spoiler? I'm like, what?
Well, 'cause that was supposed to be a big plot element. Was the
fooled
thing,
me,
That's
yeah.
what the kid's special talent is.
There was I will say this, and I'm not kidding. There was sounded like one big black woman was in the audience who loved that because after that penguin got through singing, you heard somebody like. It was almost like my baby can sing. Did you hear that? Anybody hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Maybe I heard it in my head. I don't know. Okay, it was me.
It was you. I was sitting next to you. You did that. You were humming along. I love this song. I always cry, Pagliacci.
You know, the visuals in this movie are still incredible, and they're incredible in some of the parts, as I mentioned earlier, where I didn't even like the characters and the visuals carried me through that. Oh, I would give this. I would give it a rental, just a rental. It is a letdown, but a pretty letdown.
Yeah, it's a huge letdown to me because even seeing trailers that didn't look good, I had such a love for the first one. I was like, still some of that might shine through, and they really stripped away just everything I liked about the first one. I just felt betrayed, and with the first movie, them using music from the 70s, it was at a time when that wasn't really that cool, and they really committed to it. Here, they're picking music from 80s and 90s and just kind of half-assing it, just kind of doing a medley and then moving on to, like we said, multiple subplots that go nowhere. To me, this movie felt so like it was done by committee. Like they had a group of people who had to agree on everything that went in, and some people like, I want my project in there. All right, well, if yours gets in, then this pet project I want to do gets thrown in there as well. It's just, much like Twilight, it's another sequel that's just a big money grab for the weekend. And I'm so close to giving it some old bullshit, but
tears coming at your eyes.
I just won't go quite that far. But it's a low rental to me.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't hate this film at all. In fact, I did kind of enjoy it on a certain sort of like I was expecting just to watch more of what I didn't like in the first one, which was just 2 hours of penguins singing and dancing, which is not entertaining to me. And I was grateful that that's not what this was, even though admittedly the music that there was here was much worse than the choices that they had in the first one. Wow, were they much worse. But there were points in the animation that kept me going. There were little jokey bits that I thought were funny. I was honestly, it's funny, like I felt like by the end I liked it less than I did as it was going on, because I was going, I honestly want to know where this is going. I am intrigued to figure out where's, and then at the end you're like, oh really? Okay, well that's nothing. But I enjoy it for what it's worth. I mean, it was worth a single watch. I would give it a high rental.
I'm giving it some old bullshit only because, I mean, I walked out confused as hell, like wondering, George Miller did this? And, I mean, the songs came out of nowhere, honestly. They didn't serve the plot of the story at all. We've said this a billion times, the multiple storylines didn't go anywhere. The only hope I was hoping they grasp onto were the Krill story. And as good as that started, it went nowhere real quick. So, I mean, I can't really, I have no desire to see this movie ever again, ever, not even for free.
You know what, co-host, I might have to switch over to your side.
Don't you do it.
He makes some good points. He also reminded me of something else, was how the way they integrated humans in the first movie, it was so obscure and off camera that like they just did it in a way to where you weren't sure, was that video or did they CGI it? Here, not only do you see it's clearly video of people, but those actors are hamming it up so much. It's like, okay, settle down, guys.
They have one guy, that was the weirdest thing, bringing some Queen songs, and they got one guy that talks to, what's that fat-ass penguin called?
Lovelace?
Lovelace. He talks to Lovelace by serenading him on an electric guitar.
That's
doing
I was like,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing, man. And Lovelace is sitting up there jiggling his fat all over the place. I was like, this, that's
Playing air guitar.
I was creeped out. I was like, this is more gay than those two fucking shrimp in this movie.
It's just weird. It doesn't serve the story at all. There's no point of it. There's just nothing there. So I'm giving some old bullshit. Yes, it is.
It does feel like we're like just this close to them taking like animated characters in commercials and making movies of them now. Like the
they already did it.
The insurance gecko, is going to get his own series of movies soon.
Yeah,
like fuck it, why not? People will clearly go see absolutely anything that's animated at this point.
Actually, I love your idea. I want to see the next movie when they're not singing. They're just repeating, like they're mimicking all black sitcom characters from the 80s. You know,
Was that my idea?
I took it in transfer. I want to see a Martin Penguin. I want to see a Bill Cosby Penguin. And I want the opening of the movie.
What a different strokes penguin.
I want a different Strokes Penguin. Well, you know what
Can't
you're
they
talking
just
about.
get
With
the Geico? Can't they just get the Geico character and just have him do an episode of What's Happening? I mean,
Mumbles gets killed, and Eric and his little brother get adopted by a polar bear.
by a white polar bear. Yeah.
Who will be drinking Coke the whole time?
Yeah, of course.
And the opening number will be like the opening number to the Cosby Show. And by the way, I'm all for gay shrimp. And in case anybody didn't think I was like for that, I felt I was coming across like crustacean.
oh, don't worry, I believe you.
Okay.
Well, most gay people are funny. I mean, they have
Wow,
great
you
sense-
just made that much worse.
Yeah, I was trying to be cool. And I should have well enough alone.
I just meant they have great sense of humor.
Sure you do.